Welcome to the TIP Network. Here we talk about culture, combat, sports or arts. It's a combination.
Sports and arts.
Sports and arts, whatever. And self-improvement. And today, this is what we are going to talk about. We are going to touch on the combat sports portion. Now, the question I have to ask you, Grover, is the top three things or the top three martial arts that everyone should learn.
Okay.
Martial arts styles. There we go.
Okay. So this is, in no particular order and my personal opinion, because there's a lot of people who are going to disagree with me. As in the nature,
I'm going to love to look at the comments on this one.
As in the nature of martial arts, it's very, very subjective and cultish. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just going to say that three things that have really improved my life. Boxing, number one. There's nothing more important than to be able to handle yourself than to handle these ones and twos. Boxing is, to me, it's a martial arts because they teach boxing or some form of boxing in every military. Every military is going to teach you that, not locking, not throwing, but boxing, because, if you don't have weapons, you're going to have to take your most accurate weapon and hit somebody with it, right? So boxing, number one. Number two is going to be Jeet Kune Do, because it combines a lot of different arts. So you can be a great Jeet Kune Do practitioner and be a great Muay Thai. You can, specialize in Muay Thai, but still, do the locking with Jeet Kune Do.
Is that's also with like tailored to your specific body type and
style. And there's different branches of Jeet Kune Do. There's people who will say, the Filipino martial arts has nothing to do with Jeet Kune Do, but me coming from the Dan and Asano branch of Jeet Kune Do, I do Filipino martial arts. I do edge weapons. I do trapping. I do Thai boxing, and I do boxing. I do locking. All of those are encompassed in Jeet Kune Do. But Jeet Kune Do isn't all that. And specifically with Jeet Kune Do, I would say rapid assault tactics is the most important thing to put you in a situation to end a conflict or get into a conflict.
Is that number three? Or is that part of the
It's a part of Jeet Kune Do. It's a contemporary Jeet Kune Do as pioneered and taught by Sigong Paul Vunak, which my direct Sifu, Brenda King, is a senior instructor under. And so I would say, no matter, old is gold, that stuff is awesome. And then the last thing I would say is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Or wrestling or some type of grappling, because everyone says I'm going to keep it on my feet, and everyone winds up on the ground one time or another. So at least you need to be able to do something to stand up. So if you're not going to be a submission artist like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you should know how to wrestle. Combat submission wrestling is what I really do. Eric Paulson's combat submission wrestling, but I'm also taking
CSW. Is that
CSW? Yeah. Okay. I'm also taking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Right now I'm taking private lessons with Professor Gene. I don't know how to say his last name, but I just call him Pro Gene. And so I take an hour private lessons of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu a week. I still do combat submission wrestling whenever I can, especially now that the world is opening up. I do Thai boxing or kickboxing at least twice a week, lift weights at least twice a week, and do a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class once a week.
So what I like about your structure of the martial arts that you like to personally, that you recommend to, I guess, beginners or anyone that you should learn, is that with boxing, it's dueling as well as learning how to use your feet in motion and punching someone, because let's say if you're wearing baggy pants or something, you're really left with your fist. That's it.
Yeah.
So you combine that with Jeet Kune Do, because Jeet Kune Do, what you've taught me before, is about distancing. Mm-hmm. It's about these other philosophical concepts, but these philosophical concepts are more strategies in how to engage into combat. Right. And then now finally you talk about CSW or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because, well, if you do happen to get on the ground and there's no choice, you might as well hold on to that one other dude while the other dudes are trying to like jump on you. And you're like, I'm going to take this one out if you guys are going to end up start kicking me.
Well, I tell you one thing. I've spent a lot of time working in bars, bouncing, doing some security, executive security, what have it. And it just depends on how much alcohol is involved. People wind up on the ground. Mm-hmm. And you could tell when someone's trained on the ground. Like, I've watched the fights before where two guys have clashed and one guy is just taking him down, mounted the guy, put him in a triangle and knocked him out or mounted him. And I'm just like, wow. I mean, it's not.
What were you doing as a job as a bouncer? You just let it go on?
Huh? Yeah, shit. Sometimes people need an ass whooping, to be honest. I didn't say I was a good bouncer. I said I was a bouncer. No, sometimes it would just happen. Like, I mean, I know one guy just mounted a dude and just held him down until we got there and said, all right, you guys got him. And he got up and walked away. And then, one guy was really out of control and he got triangled. And look, I'm not suggesting that for a street fight because somebody could walk up and kick you in the head and really hurt you. But I'm saying that, it's just good to have those skills and have that understanding of that range because fighting is range. Kickboxing range, boxing range, clinch range, right before clinch range, trapping range, clinch range, and ground. And you have to know what, at least understanding of each of those ranges and how to get to the other range.
Well, one thing I would like to add about the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or any kind of wrestling is that you put yourself in a position to take control of that opponent or the aggressor, because sometimes the aggressor, you don't want to rain down or inflict a lot of punishment on the aggressor, and you want to hold it for the police or whoever needs to subdue this individual, and you don't want to lay your hands on them. And in fact, like, let's say if a girl's beating on you and stuff, like, you can't really be putting hands on her, but you at least can restrain her.
Right. Well, I mean, if a girl's beating on you, run, because you're just
asking all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, if a girl's beating on you, just run, just leave. Don't get your pride out of it, because look, as soon as you bump her, did
you see this Sweetie and what's the guy from Migos?
No.
Where she basically was like taking his PS3 or whatever, and then he was trying to take the PS3 back, and then they were in an elevator. I'll put the clip up here. And so basically by the time he started pulling the PS3 back, or not PS3, PS5, the last time I played PS, a PlayStation, and the moment he pulled it off from her, she kind of like did this flop, like LeBron, like just flopping on the ground. Like it looked like she got pushed by 10 feet or something. And the guy, he didn't even touch her at all.
Right.
It didn't make any sense.
And then she's like, he hit me. Fuck that. Just woman mad at you, run. Trust me, you ain't gonna win.
So one thing I would like to add though is I want your thoughts on this.
Okay.
Because you talked about unarmed combat and you kind of mentioned it with Filipino martial arts. What about bladed weapons or even gun training?
Filipino martial arts is, to me, the most superior form of bladed weaponry in the world. Nobody does it better than the Filipinos. You will get cut. The joke is that always understand that when you're going to when you're going in with a Kali practitioner or a screamador, that there's 3 knives and 1 knife you don't see. And the knife you don't see is what cuts you open. And so, I mean, it's great. As far as gun goes, I mean, I would say that, like, having a working knowledge of firearms, not only going to the gun range, but the tactical shooting courses is something that everybody should do if you're looking to defend yourself. This world is not a pretty place. This world is going to hell in a handbasket.
Oh, my God.
And you need to be in a situation where you're going to defend your family. I am a strong Second Amendment supporter. And I grew up with weapons. I grew up with firearms, and I will continue to have firearms around me until the day I die, because I would rather have it than not have it and need it. Bottom line. And I'm not concerned about, well, if you weren't doing anything wrong. Listen, criminals don't listen to any laws. By nature, a criminal's not paying attention to the law. And so if a criminal has a weapon, I need a weapon too. The trick is that I need to be highly skilled and highly trained with my weapon. I need to go to the range. I need to go on shooting courses. I need to understand myself, and I need to be able to defend my family.
Because even to add on to that is understanding the equipment, the tool you're using, which is the gun, and knowing the safety precautions, the upkeep, to make sure that it doesn't get turned on you.
Right.
Or using a weapon that somehow malfunctions because you don't have the proper care and maintenance for that that weapon. So there's goes a lot into it in taking care of your tools, your to protect you as well as to generate you income.
But I am a firm believer in impact weapons and bladed weapons far before you grab a gun. I think that
well, that's more like last line of defense. Someone jumps into your house. Right. Now you're protecting your castle.
But like around my house, I have machetes, sticks, knives.
Oh, this is why I like you talked about the Eskrima or Filipino martial arts, because we're not walking around with samurai swords, but even though you know how to use one. But we are walking around with clubs. We're walking around with bats. We're walking around with Like you can get a machete from Home Depot.
Cell phones.
Cell phones, small knives, anything can be used as a weapon, and that's why I personally, when I did take a Filipino, Jeet Kune Do, Jeet Kune Do. Well, when we did a lot of blade weapon work, and it was nice to be able to know how to use a rattan stick as well as using a bladed weapon, and they were interchangeable. So
yeah, really cool. So to be clear, because we're an Anasano school of Jeet Kune Do, we teach Jeet Kune Do, which is trapping, which is Junfan kickboxing, but we also teach Kali and bladed weapons. And I believe that is something that people should have just in their back pocket. And I mean, it helps with everything. It helps with quick reactions. It helps with thinking. And there's some bad mofos out there who look like old brittle men who can go upside your head with a stick really quick. You know, look at that cane and understand that it might not just be a cane. Might be something to go upside your head with. All right.
All right. And that's about it. So make sure you subscribe, smash the bell,
smash it
for more notifications.
Yeah.
So you hear more about combat sports, talking about the culture.
Right. And don't forget to follow us at I am Gorilla1 on Instagram. And
I'm just going to link it down below. It's Scott.Tieee, but make it easy for you. It's the links are down below. And also if you're into crypto as well as holistic development, where you are discovering your passions and following your purpose and improving yourself, your financial well-being, then also check out my channel down below. And that's about it.
Boom. Booty in your face.
Like it. Make sure you pull out.
Make sure you pull out. Dude, do you hear Darth Vader breathing the whole time?